In this video, I deal with the hugely inflamed cow's foot and get very angry before struggling to move this big bull. All whilst this cow has a lovely little scratch.
And I won't let it rush when I see you dance, and the moment comes when I fall and time goes slow. I fall into you.
So we're just discussing that somebody in this household, either me or Ashley, somebody left a pair of headphones on the bonnet of a car, and then no, that's cheating. And then the other day, and then somebody else jumped in the car and drove off with those headphones on the car bonnet.
Somebody told you to move them on
Right.
Sunday night. The most important part.
So somebody put them on. Basically, I put a pair of headphones on the bonnet of the car. Ashley told me you should move them from there. I didn't move them from there. The next day, Ashley jumped in the car, drove away. The headphones were never seen again, and she's saying it was my fault. It was clearly her fault. And Craig agrees with me, don't you, Craig?
You never told the full story.
I did!
Who leaves their headphones sitting on a bonnet of a car?
This guy!
Overnight.
Me! But
You could look for them today on the way to work.
not petty like that, Ashley. They're gone.
What about the headphones that you lost of mine on an aeroplane as well? Or the iPad that you lost on an aeroplane?
Oh, the keys. The car keys that you keep on losing.
Yep. That's not your fault, is it?
I'm glad you finally agree. That is not my fault, you're right. I've got their own coffee. But have you still got dog shit? No, I think it's That's it. Right, anyway, now that that has been decided and everybody agrees I'm right, today we've got 30 cows to do at our first farm, but after that we're visiting a farm that we were at last week where this huge Charlie had a massive problem in his front left foot. Only this time, it's not for this Charlie bull. Yep, sod's law. The farmer's other bull has now gone lame.
Not gonna lie, Craig. You let me down now.
Hey, to be fair, you didn't tell me the full story. You brought me a rubbish.
See when you're in there?
Yeah.
So yeah, this first farm it's got about 30 cows, but usually there's not many problems with them at all. It's only a couple of miles away from the house, so it'll only take us 5 or 6 minutes to get there. And then our second farm is about 5 miles from there. So we have a nice little day ahead of us. Not sure if I mentioned this before, but I am on a diet. I weighed just over 15.5 stone, which is a few pounds. Like 220 pounds. Yeah, I weighed about 220 pounds. I am now down to 199 this morning. Keep kind of going up and down. But I'm eating these all the time. They're bad for you, I know you're going to say that, but they're full of protein and they keep you full, so they're good. Plus I'm a total and utter sugar fiend, which is probably the worst thing in the world you could possibly beat when it comes to food. But hey.
There's things in life you simply need to know. But sun and rain and trust in
Tally ho!
it takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to the end. The end.
So good. Anyway, look what smooth as you like. Anyway, look what Amber sent us. It's incredibly kind when you guys send us things. It really, really is. And he is now pride of place. I haven't got a name for him actually. Well, we didn't name him.
I'm not good at names.
Thanks for the input. Suggested names, please, for our little mascot who's sitting on the front. I've actually glued his ass to the dashboard. I've glued his bum to the dashboard so he shouldn't go anywhere. We've actually had a little bit of summer for the last week or so you get used to it almost straight away, and now we're back to dismal grey skies, but only for a day or so, because supposedly the weather next week is to be 30 degrees C, and I can't wait, because I'll be on holiday while these guys are here in about 10 degrees C. Yeah, we're going on holiday to Spain. We're taking Ashley and the kids, obviously. They come everywhere with us. In a good way. And Derek, Nicole, and their... What was that? Yeah, Ashley and the kids. And Nicole and Derek. This is Derek, my brother-in-law, who's also the local agricultural merchant. store manager person. So it should be really, really good, and the weather looks like it's going to be amazing. So we're going to be away for a week spending some quality family time while these guys look after the helm. I have absolutely no worries whatsoever about Kevin and Graham, but when it comes to Craig, obviously, it doesn't always go great when I'm away. Is it, Craig?
I'm not coming in next week, guys.
I'm only joking. I have absolutely no worries whatsoever leaving these guys in charge. Yeah, so that being said, I'm going to eat the rest of this and get to the farm.
There's things in life you simply need to know. Sun and rain and trust and letting go.
Right, this crusher isn't normally here, so we're going to use our hurdles because we need them for Bully Boy at the next farm, so we might as well make use of them here. And the good thing about this place is the race is really long. Whenever we're at any farm, the biggest struggle is keeping the cows calm and getting them up the race and into the crush. So when a race is really long, all you need to really worry about is getting the first couple in, and the rest will pretty much follow. Cows have an incredibly strong herding instinct. And that means any time they're separated from their herd mates or their friends or their co-workers, I suppose, they start to get really anxious and start to freak out, and that is when you get problems. So keeping them together makes everything much, much smoother.
There's things in life you simply need to know. But sun and rain and trust and letting go. It takes a bit of suffering, sleepless nights and wandering before you make it safely to.
Where would we be without baler twine or string? I always thought baler twine isn't really a term we use around here. Maybe it is. What do you call it?
Fine.
Baler twine, I don't know, sounds a bit foreign, doesn't it? It's that big it won't fit in, and sometimes when that happens I need Craig to give me a hand getting it in. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So what, we're going to push it back?
Yeah. Yep. 1, 2. Yeah, that's good.
Got to make do with what you've got.
He's always saying that to my sister. Ah, fine. Anyway, moving on. What I was gonna say is, look at that fine figure of a man walking away. But Graham ruined it. Thank you. Well, cool, we are all set up. You'll notice it's all fun and games, and I love to have a laugh, and these guys do too. And you have to be able to have a laugh when your face looks like that. But the second we start getting cows in, things need to go serious, because we do need to look after these big girlies in as safe and as quick and as professional as professional a way as possible. Yeah, it just sounds weird when you say it loads of times. Right, let's get them in.
Open these cows you walk.
Kevin's just saying that some of these cows have walked back in from the field. So these cows are out grazing at the field, and actually some of them have walked back in. So it would seem they do like the Hoof GP.
Craig, you hold the cable. You hold the cable up to bring these cows down. We've got some extras.
Cows are inconsiderate when it comes to cables and things, and they love to pull them out. I got a new tattoo the other day, and I'm trying to look as much like Craig as possible. I need to keep it wrapped up so it stays clean. As we begin to move these cows past us, you'll notice that cows are anything but delicate. Don't know why they came back in anyway. This is the auto shed gate that Kevin's tying open. Jack, the dairyman, uses the numbers on the cows' bums to enter into a computer, and then this gate sheds them out as needed. Lovely, but I think we'll turn that hose off. Right. Try and get through these fairly quickly. We're supposed to be at the farm for about 10 o'clock, half 10. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're really late, but I hate telling people a time and then being completely and utterly wrong. straight away actually, this one is a little more overgrown than I would like. As they start to grind away this overgrowth, it strikes me that this isn't really overgrowth at all. It's underwear, as I've explained many times before, but many times when this is the case, there's a problem lurking underneath. Thankfully though, on this occasion, it doesn't appear that there is.
This grinder's not working.
What's it do?
Battery's full.
Is it? Oh, it's beeping.
Aye.
Do you have any spare ones with us now?
We only have 3, we never bring more than 3.
Oh well, I know what to do. Right, just keep trimming.
In moments like this, when things go wrong and there are only 2 grinders for us to use, it's time for me to step up as a boss and do the only thing I feel appropriate.
Hey!
That's right, put my feet up and have a sleep.
What are you doing?
Grinders, bro.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with you though. You have an idea. What's this?
As you can see, this foot is also fine. Craig's digging this bit out here a little bit, and to be honest, Craig, I'd actually lower that a little bit more because that's pith, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I would lower it a little bit more just because it's going to shed away. I think if you look from the other side, this will be slightly higher than this.
Who's the daddy?
Who's the daddy? I am not calling you daddy, Craig. I'm not calling you daddy no matter how many times you ask. It's not happening.
Me changing from corded to cordless grinders a few years ago was one of the best decisions I've ever made, but they do have a very tough life.
I'd say that's perfect because any lower and I'm taking it too far.
Totally agree. Right. Lovely. This isn't just for camera. We're constantly talking to each other about the cow's feet that we're trimming. We're constantly analysing and questioning each other as to what we've done and what we might have done as the trimmer ourselves. It's literally a constant learning curve.
Hey daddy! Keep pressing it.
Again, I'm using the grinder here to reduce the size of this outside claw. The outer claws are the ones that take the brunt of the force, and as a result end up with the most problems. And once that's done, I grab the knife and start paring away at this white line issue. It may be only small, but from small acorns, great oaks grow. And these problems that seem insignificant right now can become colossal issues that sometimes you see on this channel. With this claw, the grinder has less work to do. The lateral claw is still the one that is slightly too big, so that is the one where the bulk of the material comes away from. And now the grinder's out of the way, you can see a bit of bruising, which is where the knife really comes into its own, because we can get an even deeper model with it. The model is this kind of coved out shape. Ideally, you want to be able to fit an egg in between. We used to bring eggs with us to fit them in between, but Craig kept stealing them.
The next cow into the crush is actually one that Jack, the dairyman, sent me a video about just a couple of days ago because he was so worried about how poorly she was walking.
So far with the grinder, not much is coming to light. But now we've got the knife in our hand, this white line problem is pretty obvious. You can actually see through the hoof horn that it's completely underrun, as we say in the business. I need to get the blade of my knife underneath the detached hoof horn and peel it away. It's pretty tough stuff though. Although this looks fairly significant, I'm not sure actually that this is the source of her problems, because she looked to be lame on the back right foot, and this is clearly the back left. Still an issue though, because any muck that gets in behind this causes pressure, and every time she steps it's like stepping on a pebble. Although this isn't open, I do worry that because we've thinned out the hoof horn so much, we can end up causing more discomfort. So actually we're going to put a block on this claw too.
This cow was truly only showing lameness on her back right foot, but this one also is clearly an issue, which tells me the other one must be a whole lot worse.
Blocks aren't only put in place to overcome problems, they're also fitted in place to stop them happening in the first place. Clearly this cow does have a problem, but right now it's not that substantial,
this block will ensure that it doesn't become a huge issue.
Just need to peel away these little bits of fragmented hoof horn, but really don't want to go too deep. Sometimes these can be, what's the word, surprising, and end up going deeper than you first suspect. I was just about to say I'm fairly sure that isn't the case here, but it actually is. As I'm pressing here, you can actually see at the top of our hairline, we call this the hairline, or in more professional settings, the coronet. But you can actually see it bubbling out up here. So if I put my knife in here, I'm going to be able to peel all of this away. Easier said than done. It's important to get this away though, because that dirt and manure will just fester in there and cause a much greater problem than it needs to. She definitely needed a block. Now you see this, didn't she? Constantly try to reanalyze it and decide if I've got everything away that I need to. It's dirty, but I think it's just stained hoof horn actually. That's not bad at all. Just give it a quick spray with iodine and move on to foot number 2. Right, this is the one that she was really showing as lame, and actually look, you can see straight away the problem's going to be right round here. You can see it's, I'm going to call you out here, Jack, I'm pretty sure you've been trimming this one. It's better to have a go than not sometimes. I think that's what's happening here. You can see a track around her white line, which definitely isn't natural. It looks like a knife has been in there. Right, let's get to work. As we're grinding away here, it may look like that outer claw is absolutely huge and we could really move fast with this, but looks can sometimes be deceiving, so it's always important to take your time. Look at this, for instance. If I look from the side of the hoof, you can actually see the sole of this cow's hoof is bulging down the way, even although I've trimmed it completely flat and at an even keel. The pressure from inside is pushing it down the way and arcing it out. A lot of times I would continue with the grinder, but I'm kind of wondering why it's arcing out so much. Look at that for a big slither hoof horn. That don't look good. Oh wow, there's a big hole right up into her foot. So if Jack was trimming here and I was right, he just needed to go that little bit deeper and he would have found this hole. I'm not pointing fault at all. If he's not sure if he should stop or not, then really he should stop. Right, I know I can get the grinder on this and reduce this a little bit more, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I move back to the grinder to prepare this inner claw to take the block, and while it's in my hand, I reduce the outer wall of this sore affected lateral claw. That outer wall is exceptionally hard, structural hoof wall, so using the grinder is just far easier and faster. So just flush this out as much as we can. Agitate it a little bit with my glove. So the real issue is here. I think it's a wall ulcer from what I can see right now, but I need to pare away all of this detached hoof horn, and round here it really isn't looking good. In fact, I'm going to grab the grinder for that and just reduce it ever so slightly. That's not an easy place to cut with your knife. Right. Slowly, softly, catchy monkey. I'm not sure what film that's out of actually. Out of something though. Sometimes when I'm doing this I forget I need to talk to you. I don't need to talk to you. But I should be describing what I'm doing. This hoof is actually bulging inside, so it's normal dimensions. So trimming it means I need to trim it in a slightly abnormal way in order not to go too far. Just reduce that little bit there. Oh, okay, hey. I didn't hurt her there, she's just starting to get restless in the crush. Just try and clear out this portion a little bit so we can see a bit more of what we're doing. Right, try swiping up the way to begin with. We're just gonna debride, as they say, which basically means reduce the edges and work our way from the outside inwards. It's pretty much what we do with every lesion. We start on the outside of the lesion, so around the edges, and then we work our way towards the inside, because that way we can see the hoof horn we're cutting rather than just trying to attack it straight away. We're taking soft, tiny little cuts, bit by bit, piece by piece, until eventually we get there. This is actually going to go up the side of our hoof wall a little bit though. This really smells bad actually. Peel away from that little tiny ulcer. We can see at the heart of it. You can see right at the tip of my knife, that is where the problem is. That's what's caused all of this detached hoof horn, the delamination, the soreness, the inflammation because of, no, the soreness because of the inflammation, should I say. Right. I need to get up in there, don't I? I'm avoiding it because I'm scared that it's too hard to do. Right, grinder. So with the grinder here, I'm not actually trying to remove all of the hoof horn that I want removed, which sounds a little strange. All I'm trying to do is thin out the hoof horn so that when I use my knife, I'm able to take much more delicate slithers because I don't need to use as much power. Oh, you can actually see this is indeed full of stuff. I don't want to cut any deeper than absolutely necessary, which is why I'm being so cautious. I think I'll just press that and just slice up the way. Oh, this is worse than I first thought. Right, we need to peel these layers away. Oh, you can see now that it's all detached. Oh, this is going to end up messy. Oh, so delicate. There's just this tiny little spot up here causing the claret tip here. If I push my thumb in here, you can actually see where it's detached, look. All of that needs to come away. Look, there's no pressure on that, that's not hurting her, she's not moving in the slightest. But it is telling me what needs to be removed. Just gently. Oh, look at that, I'm not even cutting it, it's just, oh God. This is much worse than I first thought. Craig's looking nervous, having his hand there. Don't worry, Craig.
I know, I'm insured, don't I?
Weirdly, when I phoned the insurance about it, actually I mentioned your name, they hung up. You got a rat, please, boys. So all of this is actually just coming from that very small little tear there from when the hoof horn came away. You can see just at the tip of my finger, if I keep spraying, actually where it's coming from. It is insignificant. Obviously it looks horrendous. Delicate trims like this just take ages. It's just the nature of the beast. Try to rush them and you're just going to make mistake after mistake after mistake. That red stuff that you saw there wasn't a mistake. I'm not backing myself up. I'm not trying to make excuses. When you peel away a hoof horn, sometimes that is exactly what happens. In this case, it'll be the best thing for her because that detached hoof horn being overburdening like that would just be creating a problem. Right, Kev's got her foot wrapped up now. So as cow 790 leaves the crush, she is clearly feeling her feet. She is in a lot of pain, and what we've done will right now have aggravated it. But over the coming days, she will start to feel more comfortable. And actually, after this bit of a slip, she's beginning to walk a little more comfortably already because of those blocks. The next 25 cows or so go pretty much as smoothly as possible under very easy trimming. Although looking at Jack here, not everybody is having it quite so easy.
It's the simple things in life that give me pleasure. How's your day going, Jack? It's almost like whoever pulled it out did it wrong. Are you not used to pulling it out, Jack?
Yeah, obviously not.
No. Jack's got a baby due soon. That is a nightmare, by the way. So whose fault is this then, Jack?
Oh, it's 100%.
I'd love to help, but I'm not gonna.
Right, so we've got to get to this next farm now. There's just one bull to do there, but we do still need to be as clean as possible, and that, unfortunately, takes quite a substantial amount of time. We usually spend around half an hour to 40 minutes on every single farm, cleaning everything as much as we possibly can. Transference of diseases between farm to farm is a really serious thing. Plus, I always remember when I was younger, somebody asked me if I knew a certain hoof trimmer, and I couldn't quite get to grips with who he was talking about. And eventually that guy said, you know, the guy with the really dirty crush. And straight away I said, yep, I know who you mean. And I always remember from then onwards never wanting to be that guy. So driving along the road, I want everything to be as shiny as possible. Most of the cows at this farm are outside grazing, but even the ones that are inside are managing to enjoy themselves. Automatic scratches. Actually, wait a second. I made these hoof trimming disc clocks and you can win one of them. I've got 8 of them to give away over the next 6 days, and if you want one, go to thehoofgp.com, buy any piece of merch and you're in with the chance of winning one of these 8 unique, one-time only hoof trimming disc clocks. Each trimming disc costs £300, so I'm not going to do this again because they are so expensive, but they are my used ones. Like I said, go to thehoofgp.com within 6 days of this video right now, buy any piece of merch, and you stand a really good chance of winning one of these very unique clocks. Right, and with that said, it's time for us to travel the short couple of miles it takes through the beautiful southwest Scottish landscapes to our next farm, and hopefully the big bad bull that's waiting for us to trim his feet. On our journey, we travelled through the tiny little village of Kirkinner, where actually our editor Graham lives. Aha! And we arrived at farm number 2, with very well kept grass actually. So as the boys get the crush set up, let's talk about last time. So this big bull was trimmed a week ago, and as you can see, he was seriously sore on this front left foot. And after a bit of a struggle getting him into the crush, it wasn't long before we discovered why he was lame. We drained out the abscess site and applied a block and sent him on his way. Fast forward to today, about a week and a half later, and actually he is much, much better. He's out in the field bulling cows. So he's enjoying life, let's put it that way. He's doing his job and he is well on the way to recovery. He's not fully recovered, but he is miles better. But as luck would have it, this bull has now gone lame as well, and it is also a front foot, looking particularly sore. You can see him padding at the ground with that front right foot. He's a big boy, he's a big boy. As we're trying to get him out of this pen, it becomes obvious how sore he is on that front right foot. Luckily for us though, he's nice and calm, and we're able to almost push him and coax him around the back of this crush. Yeah, bring it round quick.
'cause she left me here alone. Now my bed feels just like cobblestone. Oh.
We're just going to tie this bit of string here because he can't really escape. Well, unless he snaps the string, of course. But once he's in, the only way is forward. Famous last words. Typically I forgot to get my gloves again, which is what I did in the first build. Right, grinding this part of the hoof off should reveal the problem, hopefully fairly easily. Balancing them up is really important, but finding this issue is much more important. So using these hoof testers allows me to determine where the problem is. And it's looking like it's right there. But looks can be deceiving, and that problem looks like it's just disappeared.
A big part of why I absolutely love hoof trimming cattle's feet, apart from the obvious, making them feel better, is that I'm constantly learning. Every single foot is different, every one is a new challenge, and some of them are much more of a challenge than others. With this foot, I'm already really struggling to find the cause of the problem. I'm desperately searching for any signs of what the issue might be.
I'm struggling to find the exact problem here.
For me, the worst case scenario is that it's not his hoof at all, that it's his leg further up, because I could do nothing about that. I do have hope though, because the hoof testers indicated that this claw was the source of the pain.
Struggling to find the source of the problem, but I do know it's on that inner claw, so I definitely can put a block on and it'll help him. Right, I'm going to try going deeper because he is clearly in a huge amount of pain and there must be something causing it. Oh, but that's the trouble, look, you go deeper and then this is what happens.
At this point in my career, I've trimmed hundreds and hundreds of thousands of cattle's feet, and I'm still never certain that I haven't missed something. At this point in the trim, I could be literally one swipe of the knife away from revealing a big almighty explosion.
Come on.
And I've got my fingers crossed.
You can see all of the bruising in there, and yes, there's clarets, but I'm desperate to find this problem.
This bull's pain really matters to me, and his performance and comfort also matter to the farmer, who's currently standing on the other side of the crush. I really don't want to let him down.
So unfortunately, I can't really find the root cause of this problem. I know there's inflammation in here, I know this is what's causing the problem, and that is why this block is on here, but I can't find the root cause. The block is going to take the vast majority of weight away from that inside claw, so that'll give him pain relief. I've just spoken to the farmer, he's going to speak to the vet and hopefully maybe give him antibiotics if the vet feels necessary, but he is definitely going to give him anti-inflammatories, which will help by itself. The instructions are basically, we put this block on, if he's not a lot better in a week, then we'll come back and hopefully be able to find something then. Right, he's slouching down and I really don't like that. I'm not even going to trim his other front foot because I want him out of the crush, and it doesn't look bad to be honest. Anyway. I was going to put a block on here just to make sure this doesn't get any worse, but he's actually got a bit of a problem here as well. In this case, the bull's on straw, so we're just going to leave him exactly like that. We'll dish this out just a little bit more, just because there's a little bit of bruise in there. But we're going to leave the rest of it as it is. Taking the weight, taking the height off of this will actually help a lot to stop these from getting any worse. And he's on a straw bed in there. so it should help him. Obviously it would be better if we could get a block on here or on here, but there's a problem here and here, so we're not going to do that. Right. I'm desperately keen to get him out of the crush. He's slouching right forward, and as we all know, I absolutely hate those leaning on the headgate in case they hurt themselves. When he does come out, he's clearly shaken. That is incredibly sore. Me playing around with it, even just pressing it, has aggravated it. He'll not be thanking me right now, but hopefully when he realises the block's on, it should take some of the pressure and therefore the pain away. We are really struggling to get him to move. When you weigh around 2,000 pounds or a ton and you don't want to move anywhere, you can make things pretty awkward for the people trying to move you. Finally, we managed to get him pointed in the right direction, and he's realised we're putting him back into his straw-bedded pen, so he starts to move of his own accord. And just like that, we have got him in his pen. We haven't made a huge amount of difference to this bull, to be honest. We've definitely made a step forward, a positive step, because we now know, or rather don't know, or know that we can't fix it straight away, and that in itself is a step forward. The farmer is going to treat him with whatever medication the vet suggests, and good strong pain medication, and that block will be helping a huge amount. Personally, I'm hoping we arrive back to see this bull in a week's time to see if there's something more we can do for him. Just rewind to the middle of the day again. Just wanted to remind you, these hoof trimming clocks are available for you to possibly win over the next 6 days. There is no chance I will ever do this again. This is literally a one-time only thing, because these discs cost us a fortune. They're made of titanium and tungsten carbide, so they cost an awful lot of money to buy. These are my old used discs, but they will be spotlessly clean, and like I said, I've turned them into clocks, and yeah, this is about as unique as it gets. The time is now, folks. If you would like the possibility of winning one of these disc clocks, then just go on the site within the next 6 days and you'll automatically be entered into a draw for anywhere in the world to win one of these clocks. See you at thehoofgp.com. Bye!